Why don't we get to the topic that you kind of wanted to discuss? That I have, I've only kind of heard about it, but I don't really know what the hell it was all about. So why
Like
don't you take it?
the bagel or the movie?
The bagel
Okay, yeah,
story.
for sure,
So
for
I'll
sure.
let you talk about that. Give me 1 second. So
Okay,
I'm listening.
okay. All right then. Yeah. So for those of you who aren't on social media, you know, I don't know who's not these days, but there was a video that went viral, of this man who kind of raged out at this bagel shop in Long Island or Staten Island. I think it was Long Island, but it doesn't really matter. And he was having he was raging out over a comment that was said, or maybe a misunderstanding of one of the workers. A misunderstanding from one of the workers, and so he kind of goes in this rager about uh, about how people always make comments about him, and women uh, typically don't choose him, on dating apps and things like that. And you think, well, that sounds really odd. And you'd be right, and because the reason why he went on the rager was because this man was very short. I mean, like very close to what is it? Being, I think, very close to almost being declared legally disabled, because this man was about like 5 foot, and I believe like to be legally considered a dwarf, you have to be 4'11". Yeah, exactly. He's literally an inch away from being like pretty much declared someone with a disability, and like that's actually a legal status. Like if you are under, like if you are 4'11" or under, then you are, I think, prescribed as having a disability.
Then my mom, my grandmother, and my ex would be considered disabled.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen the man in question, he goes by the name of his name is Chris Morgan. And he does have a YouTube, or he did have a YouTube. I don't know if it's still up. I forgot to check. But he had a YouTube channel, and it was just I think kind of like vlog stuff, and but then also there are a lot of times where he a lot of videos he uploaded where he was just like going off on people. So him like raging out is kind of par for the course. But for some reason, I think like because this bagel shop employee was a woman, and like she kind of snickered at him, he kind of flew off the handle, and like he was just starting to become very belligerent. He was like even getting in the face of someone, maybe average height, but then for him very like a giant. And he was like getting in his trying to get in his face and say, "Oh, you want to take this outside?" And
Was he a half Rogan tall?
no, well, this Chris Morgan guy, he was probably a Rogan.
Well, it's funny because Owen Benjamin always talks about how like there's a lot of short people who are kind of act like this.
Yeah.
Where they're always kind of like a little ornery and sneaky and kind of fussy. At least when it comes, I don't know about women, but definitely with guys.
No. This is a completely guy issue, right? Because no woman ever like freaks out about like being too short, or has like that insecurity of being too short.
I think
maybe other than like very extreme cases, and like maybe like some women who have dwarfism.
True. I would think it's like maybe it's the opposite thing, like where women who are very tall and like men who are really short, like there's kind of like this insecurity like issue.
Yeah.
Because I
But
don't think there's a lot of guys that would date a woman that's taller than them. And after you get to like a woman who's maybe like close to 6 foot, that's kind of
I don't know. I always say that I enjoy the challenge of taking down a giraffe.
you see you would be I think you're very different, Andy. I don't know if I could I would want a giraffe. I feel like it's like I shouldn't have to climb up on a step stool to
Well,
kiss
I'm
my
not
my
talking. Yeah, but
girlfriend
I'm not
like
talking. I'm not talking like those preposterous, like women that play, that are in the WNBA. But like yeah, I'd spit game at like a 6'2" chick.
I would love to see that, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's a sight to behold. Let me just tell you that it's a sight to behold. But yeah,
Is
I
this
mean
guy like
he like,
is this
but
guy is he like an incel or something, do you
was it?
think? Is he an incel?
Uh, hmm, I wouldn't categorize him as such. But he's definitely a guy with a chip on his shoulder because of his height.
Definitely, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like but then like the immediate like the immediacy that he went to like blame women or to like say like, oh well, women, on dating sites they tell me that, yeah, you're 5 foot, you should be dead.
Well,
I mean, I know we kind of smirk now, but
that sounds so ridiculous. I mean,
yeah, but like, okay, let's grant him that that someone actually did say to him. It's like, what did you say to that woman though? Just because to spit out that particular, to spray that particular venom, you must have sprayed your own venom. And knowing and see
right.
and kind of seeing clips of this guy in action, like he's in the videos, in the two videos that I saw, he's either being like kind of like a jerk, like kind of pulling like doing like these stupid pranks on like friends, and then there's one other one where he was like trying to sell his car or something, and then he just like went off on this woman because like they she had said that she was gonna bring cash, but she didn't have the cash on her, and she's like, "Then what the hell are you doing? Get out of my car!" And it's just kind of like,
He got up on his step stool and he
yeah, let her have it. Um, but it kind of goes into that you know this ridiculous idea of heightism. But I mean, there Peter Dinklage, if the actor, who does have dwarfism. Have you seen his wife? She's a fucking smoke show.
yeah, and someone
and
like
and
Peter
also and
Dinklage, like,
like and then another guy I know, Nick Vujicic, he has no arms and no legs. He has a really beautiful wife and he has two kids.
right?
Yeah, and
It's
he gets around on a little motorized scooter. So what? So like for this Chris Morgan guy, what the hell is your problem?
yeah, and Peter
Or
Dinklage doesn't look
what's
like
your excuse?
he doesn't look like he lacks for any sort of self-esteem, or he seems like a very confident guy, like Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
um and say with the guy with no arms and legs, I mean, that's just you have your whole life is you have to be determined to keep going.
right. Yeah, I mean he's like, yeah, he's a motivational speaker, and and he's a Christian. He does like these huge events where he just preaches the word and he brings people to Christ. Um, yeah, and it's kind of like the old joke that pastors' wives are always the hottest.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, because like because these women see something in these men, you know, that goes beyond the physical.
Right. And I would say even like maybe you wouldn't say this about yourself, but I as your friend, and we've talked about this on the podcast, where you don't see yourself as like a like a helpless case and like, oh, woe is me. Like you've kind of taken it like with your faith and saying it's like, no, this is how, God created me to be, and who am I to like say that like uh that I should be like upset about this. It's like it's just who I am, and it's just something I have to overcome. And you're a guy that doesn't really lack a lot of confidence in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm
at
not
least
gonna say that
from
I'm not gonna say that I always had it. I definitely have to work at it. There are a lot of
right.
times where women just flat out said it to my face that like because of your hands, I cannot date you.
Right, and that's gotta suck.
Yeah, and that yeah, tremendously, tremendously, it sucks. But it doesn't make me like hate all women. Kind of, I mean, I don't know if this guy hates all women, but just the almost ease of which he like blew up at this bagel shop employee who happened to be a woman, just and also that other video where he blows up at this woman that he just met while trying to sell his car or something. It kind of lends me to believe that he hates women for the kind of the slights that he imagines that they have done to him.
you gotta go to the school of Boomhauer, man. Like you're gonna get like 400 no's, but you know what? There's gonna
But
be
you
a
only
few
need
that are
one
gonna say
yes.
yes.
Yeah, I mean by that, yeah, it's kind of it's all about numbers. It's all about statistics. You might get 400 no's, but you just need that one yes, right? Yeah, and I mean and I'm not gonna front, because I still sometimes struggle with that a bit, being rejected by women, and it's something that I'm constantly working on. And it's some days are better than most, but I don't I don't hate women for it. I just I don't blame like my all of my troubles or whatever on women. Just like, okay, this particular chick was not ready for all this Asian delight.
Yeah.
So like whatever you know you know
It's
bless
kind of the same.
bless
It's
you,
kind of
and hope you have a beautiful life.
yeah.
That's all you
It's
can
kind of
that's all you can do.
yeah. It's kind of the same with me because I mean, for it took a while like before I kind of really got into the dating game, and that was a huge struggle. And lately, it's been more winning than anything else, which is great. I found someone that's really
Well,
awesome.
yeah, because you just you just went back out there. You stuck your shovel. You just you didn't even dig. You just stick your shovel in the dirt, like boop, there it was.
And yeah, and that's because now that the dirt that is surrounding me has been cultivated and manicured and all this stuff. But like, yeah, it was real tough going for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's I was actually talking with Matt Wade just like last week, and I was telling him about like kind of like the struggles that I've had about and still kind of having like those residual feelings of being wanted or being found attractive, because that'll never happen for me. You know, you don't because because I'm a realist, and so I understand that this is there are a lot of women who won't see past this. Who
True,
won't see past this, and so you know and and I've always said like these are God kind kind of like the silver lining, in all of it is like God kind of blessed me, with the ultimate bullshit test. And so if a woman can get past this, then they're then they have a chance at gold. You know.
true.
So yeah, and Matt even said as much. He was like saying, yeah, God, he's gonna send you a woman who's gonna be able to see past that, and it might, and who cares if it's not, who cares if you're not desirable to all women? You just need to be desirable to one woman.
Exactly.